Hi, you're listening to the My Body, My Story podcast.
This is a very special day that I'm quite confident that today I will feel the most beautiful I've felt for a long time.
This is the 45 over 45 chapter where we celebrate rule breakers and role models, the women who inspire us to live life our way and to show their sensuality, beauty, soul, and true essence. Here, we talk about what it's like to be 45 plus, adjusting to the changes that come with time, and we listen to the stories of our participants. If you have an interesting story, we'd love for you to participate. You can email us at info@alexandrawalker.com. That's Alexandra spelt with a K-S. Or visit our website, alexandrawalker.com.
Hi everyone, and welcome to My Body, My Story project, and welcome to our studio. Today here with us is Joanne, and while she's sitting in the makeup chair and Chitra is doing makeup for her, I'll be asking her a few questions. Hi Joanne.
Hi, Alexandra.
Welcome, and let's start, and tell us a bit about yourself.
Hi, well, I'm 62 and a half. I grew up in Goulburn, which is on a farm in a rural area.
Mm-hmm.
And I studied professional writing and came to Sydney and worked as an entertainment reporter and a film extra during the 1980s. It was a fantastic time. And then I met my partner at the time, an Argentinian. We travelled extensively and had a jewellery and handicraft business all through the 1990s. And then I moved on, studied a diploma of counselling, and now work for the past 10 years with mental health mainly. I was at the UNSW on English language tests, but that all stopped in 2020 when COVID arrived. What
a career turn from entertainment journalist to mental health.
Yeah, lots of other, a variety of vocations, very interesting times as well.
So tell me a bit more about your experience while working for the entertainment. Well, you said it was reporting for the...
Yes, so when I studied a Bachelor of Arts in Professional Writing in Canberra, came to Sydney, and I was very fortunate to get work with an entertainment magazine called On the Street. So I would I'd be interviewing both local bands and sometimes international acts. It was fantastic. It was very interesting. And that I also was introduced to a film agent and had a lot of film extra work, which was also incredibly interesting and fun.
Do you remember what movies series you were acting in?
There were quite a few. There was, I guess, one of the main ones the two that stick in my mind is Mad Max 3, Beyond Thunderdome.
Oh, that's nice.
And also I spent several weeks as a featured extra on Bangkok Hilton with our beautiful Nicole Kidman. That was, but I did quite a lot of television work, some advertisements, quite a lot of work. So I combined the writing and the film work.
That's interesting. And whom did you interview? Do you remember any famous person?
Right. So let me think of some of the... there was a band from the USA called Concrete Blonde, Nina Cherry from United Kingdom. There were a lot of independent groups in Sydney at the time. Let's see, the Tex Perkins and various other groups. It's quite a long time ago. I'm trying to remember some of the names of the groups.
No, that's okay. It's enough.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting time.
Very interesting. It was fantastic.
Yeah. So you had so many different areas you work in, and what are you most passionate about? What area of your work or life you are more into?
I'm a very creative and artistic person, but about, let's see, 10 years ago I did a diploma in counselling, which I became very interested in mental health, psychology in general, and just needed to learn for myself. Having some depression and anxiety, that diploma was quite amazing. I did it at the Australian College of Applied Psychology, and then I got work with a lady who lives in Bondi who has schizophrenia. I've worked with her for the past 10 years, and I also have another client who has something called cerebellar ataxia, which affects the balance. It's a brain injury, and he's unable to walk. So I help both of these people, particularly the lady with schizophrenia, with everyday things that they need help with, and taking her to medical appointments, to psychiatrists, helping her with her medication and her everyday life. I would call him my friend, the man who has cerebellar ataxia. I help him with his home, helping around the home and his garden, and just company.
So what do you think is the hardest part of schizophrenia for the person who
Schizophrenia
has
is a really, really challenging mental health condition. It is, I think it's so hard for the people who have schizophrenia to be accepted by a lot of society in general. This is my experience, that people are frightened, and for the person, the voices, although that is reduced by taking medication, clozapine in this case, but it's an extremely, it's just such a challenging, difficult mental health condition.
Yeah.
But Carol is my client's name. She trusts me, she relies on me, and she's very good.
But 10 years, it's a long time.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's
hard sometimes. But yeah, I see her probably about 20 hours a week. So it's one-on-one. Yeah.
Interesting. So everyone knows that with age we change, but what positive changes do you see for yourself at this age?
Positive?
Positive, yeah.
The thing is, if you can have confidence, and if you believe in yourself and you have self-belief, that gives you power. If you lose your confidence, and I think I've managed to remain strong, resilient, independent, and even though there were challenges, sometimes losing confidence, not necessarily in my physical self, because I've always had the same sort of body weight and shape, but it's more you're getting older, and yeah, everyone must feel the same. Getting older is challenging.
So what is the biggest challenge of this age?
Feeling good about how you look and how you dress and how you interact with others. Being confident in social situations, although the last couple of years that's been challenging for everyone during COVID. I've only just started to go out again socially in the last few months, so I think if you can walk in somewhere and feel strong, stand up straight, head held high, and you feel good about yourself, that's really important.
Yeah, so and what does it mean to you, feeling good and looking good?
What does it mean?
Yeah, for you, what is it for you? And what comes first? Feeling good or looking good?
Feeling good.
So when do you feel good about yourself?
Most of the time. Not always, but mostly I'm quite independent and I move around a lot by myself when I'm not working. So just that confidence to go out and just feel okay.
And what makes you feel the most beautiful?
I think what's happening right now will make me feel beautiful. This is a very special day, and that I'm quite confident that today I will feel the most beautiful I've felt for a long time.
Oh, that's nice. Okay, so what would you say is your greatest accomplishment at this point of your life?
I guess my greatest accomplishment would probably to have arrived at this age through so much change. I have a wonderful family. They've been instrumental in keeping me focused and grounded. So probably my greatest accomplishment would be having done all the things I've done, and I'm standing up strong, I hope.
So you mentioned you have family. Do you have brothers and sisters, or?
Yes, I have 4 siblings. We, as I mentioned earlier, we grew up in Goulburn. It was a sheep farm. My parents' family, mum and dad's family, had been in the area since the 1820s. When my siblings and myself in the 1970s, we were very fortunate because there was Gough Whitlam was in power with Labor, and there was free tertiary education. So we all managed to go to university, both in Canberra, some of us, and others in Sydney, and everyone, all my siblings and their partners and my 9 nieces and nephews, we all live in Sydney and have been here since during the 1980s. My mother's 90, she's in Goulburn, and now it's a cattle farm.
Wow.
And she runs the farm.
Still the same farm?
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, one of my brothers, he runs cattle with my mother's there, and my cousin, and there's other.
That's great. So
Yeah.
it's 5 of you. So.
5, and my dad, my beautiful dad, he passed away in 2002. Dad served in the Second World War. He would have suffered from post-traumatic stress. He was a beautiful dad, great father, and I miss him all the time.
Yeah, I like listening to family stories.
Yeah.
5 kids, wow.
Yeah, everyone's around Coogee and Clovelly, and there's a lot of sporting, elite sports people within my family.
So you gather together quite often?
We do, although like everyone the last couple of years has been a bit tricky.
Yeah. So if you could travel back in time and meet your 30-year-old self, what would you tell her, or what advice would you give her?
To believe in yourself, to always be resilient no matter what. Take one day at a time, because who knows what tomorrow brings.
Yep.
Be compassionate, be kind, love animals, birds, nature. That's really important to me as well.
And what advice would you give younger women who will eventually reach this age, but at the moment they're still young? What would you tell them?
To believe in themselves. If they can, education is so important, knowledge is power. To be respectful, to be kind, to believe in yourself even when times are hard and things can get you down.
So if we would talk about the body image, and I'd like to ask you, where do you think this idea of perfect body image comes from? And what is it for you, your perfect body?
I think, I mean, it's been probably a mainstream sort of idea for some time that advertising and media can really influence how women or men perceive themselves or feel about themselves. Facebook has become, social media's become quite daunting, I think, for some people. I only just joined Facebook in December of last year.
Oh,
yeah.
So you are the very late
I'm a
follower.
late comer. But I think, yeah, there's a lot of, probably, there's a huge amount regarding beauty and body image and what's the perfect body, and that's for male and female. And to look as young as possible, to be fit.
So who do you think benefits from this image? What industries?
Fashion.
Fashion?
Makeup industry. Although I guess, I mean, probably in certain careers, it's very important that the image is essential. How you look, how you dress, how your.
What do you think these careers are? Where is it so important?
That could be within business, within media, all kinds of areas, perhaps.
It's interesting because the human perception, first, of course, it's a visual perception, and this is a brain mechanism of protecting itself from too much information. So it's like a shortcut for the brain to decide, this is my person or not my person. Do I want to get deeper into connection with this person or not? And unfortunately, it's based on looks. And this looks like, what are the rules? Like that's created by media or by society, by the industries which are interested in earning more money. Like, for example, I believe that a lot of things comes from plastic surgery industry, medicine, like pharmacies, pharmaceutical medicine, pharmaceutical industry, and it's just basing its action as a marketeer. I can just see that on the very basic human instinct of selective attention. Yeah, like our brain try to shortcut based on visual image of the person. So
it's almost like it becomes competitive. That unless you have that image, you may not feel like you'll succeed. Or
it's actually a very deep conversation, because I think it's also to do with there's so many sides of that, and I think it's also to do with some ideas like, okay, this color scheme, this kind of things with the like this color is
colors
better,
are very important,
and this one is worse, it's so many sides of this subject, and I think so we just need to do a separate podcast about that.
Oh, okay.
So my last question, and do you have any favorite quote about being a woman? Or
no, my number one is never ever give up.
It's a nice one.
Never ever give up.
And I think it can relate to being a woman.
Yeah, you just have to keep forging ahead. And I do like this one day at a time. In fact, I have both those on my fridge. One day at a time.
That's very nice, yeah. And I think that these two quotes can relate to women as well.
Yes.
So thank you, Joanne. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and answering my questions. And I hope you will enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you to you as well.
And you will feel beautiful today.
I do already. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was a very interesting conversation.
If you have an interesting story, we'd love for you to participate. You can email us at info@alexandrawalker.com. That's Alexandra spelt with a KS. Or visit our website, alexandrawalker.com.